about I introduce you, Eric? From your mouth.
And that's our show for the day.
I don't get out much, Robyn. You know, they let me come talk to you, and I do a program. I go home and I have to write another book.
Are you stubborn?
I went, no, and I resent that.
I could see what happened to their chakras when a pretty girl came into the room. The sex chakra goes, chung!
Say there's someone out there now watching this chat with you, and they're going, give me a break. Guides,
that would be your ego.
Yeah.
I would say that would be your ego, in which case, ask yourself if that ego is doing anything for you.
Okay. Can you, in 10 words
Absolutely.
or less, describe what this is about?
Absolutely. This beautiful book.
Are you happy? Do you feel secure? Do you feel loved? Are you peaceful? Is your heart open? Are you fulfilling your purpose? Are you bringing light to the world? If so, then turn the TV off. But if not, I am really not asking you to believe me. I am just suggesting you try a few of these things and do something really radical and actually trust your own spirit.
After I'd had my leg amputated and I was trying to work out what to do with this, my first wife came in with a caftan and said, do you want to try wearing this? And this may well be a family show.
The Greeks used to say, when you see more similarities and differences, you have infatuation. When you see more differences and similarities, you have resentment. When you have a perfect balance of similarities and differences, you have love.
It was a magical world, full of wonder. You know, it was like the Garden of Eden. That could eat you at any time. You know, I mean, we had things in our garden or sometimes had things in our garden that needed to be shot or chased away. You know, because they'd eat you.
I asked you about that time-old question. What would the answer be about, are men or are women more open emotionally than men?
Women are more emotionally open than men. For the most part. I do believe that, yeah.
And they came across the Aka pygmy from Western Africa. So the men often do, if the babies are unsettled, grab them and put them on the breast to soothe them, and apparently it works.
Have you done that with yours?
I can't say I've tried that. I would find that a little bit confronting. You know, call me old-fashioned.
Well, just on that part, I mean, the character that played you in the movie, his facial expressions were so amazing when she mentioned $1 million.
But I always say the universe is my playground, the world is my home, every country is another room in the house, and every city is another platform I get to share my heart message with. So I don't see it, I don't live in the same perspective as everybody else, because I think I have a global family and a global social life and a global everything. So I just feel I feel at home everywhere I travel.
Bob Friedman said that we can do that on our own. You have to do better than that. And I sat there and thought, this man just blew off $1 million offer.
If someone said to you to describe what biology of belief is about in 10 words or less, here's a challenge. Seriously though, how would you describe this? Simplistically put, for people that aren't aware of your work.
Yes. Simplistically put, it's a change from our belief system of being victims to the world and forces outside of ourselves, and to be the victims of our genes and our heredity, to recognizing what we think and what we feel about our lives control our health.
I am a news addict.
Yes.
And I was watching the news every morning in my house, and I am not a fan of Bush. I am a serious not fan of Bush. Big, huge. And that particular morning, he did yet another stupid thing.
Change is an uncomfortable process. No one likes to hear that. But when you're getting ready to change, you're breaking all of your emotional agreements with everything and everyone in your life. And you're no longer thinking and acting in predictable ways. And of course, that's taking a moving locomotive and putting on the brakes, and there's a loud screech that goes on with it.
I guess the one that I'm looking at though is people are getting this sense of like a spiritual shift or a oneness shift.
Well, sure.
I mean, some of the indigenous cultures, the Mayan culture, etc., a lot of the Hopi Indians, they've been pointing to this time, from what I can understand. We've got something concrete though with some of their ancient texts or whatever.
We won't have, because they were not scientific people. What they said is that we will find this time in our history a time when we must come together as one to cooperate to survive the changes that Mother Earth is going to show us. And the kinds of changes they're talking about it's a window of opportunity where humankind will either choose to step through that window and embrace a new way of being, or will refuse to embrace that new way of being and possibly not survive in this planet much longer.
So what do they think of what Dad does in the world?
You'd have to ask them, really.
Yeah?
I wouldn't presume to, I mean, from what they tell me, but again, like the moviegoers, nobody
Yep.
says, Dad, you know, you're nuts.
Where are we at on the planet now?
Do I look like Goldilocks to you?
One of the things that I know has been a struggle is how to get this word out there. You got any good ideas of how to do this? The knowledge that you and Greg...
This is what it's all about right now, is getting it out in the media, getting it on the internet, because it's information that where the power comes from.
Surely a woman who writes this has an absolute belief in the power of, and the
You
beauty.
know what? Let me tell you something.
Oh.
This is what's true. Okay, this is how I'm going to answer it.
What would be some last John D. Martini words to our viewers?
So many people, because they have compared themselves to other people and then beat themselves up because they're not living up to what other people, or they expect other people think about them, they beat themselves up. I'd say that no matter what you've done or not done, you're worthy of love.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Carolyn.
you.
This could have been like 10 hours. Take care.